two. Coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. 1, 2, 1, 2. Coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. Yo, he's never on some average shit. You know Eric, he stays loud and passionate. I'm about to break it down for y'all with the clever song. Yo, shout the host named Thomas, cause he's never wrong. And shout to John, you know that he's smart and quiet, unlike my freestyles, which cause a riot. I'm about to do it like this, cause the people love me. Shouts out to PHP, the ugly. It's called ugly, cause it's not professional, but I'm about to come through and bless it with style. So let's do it when I'm spitting, I perfume the room. Yo, the segment of the show is called Doom and Gloom. That came from Thomas. Yeah, can nobody go beyond this? I get the mic and then I'm about to keep it like a promise. Yeah, and y'all know we fill them up with anguish. We talking about the PHP, the programming language. About to break it down, no exaggeration. What do y'all do for a living? Web applications. Okay, I can dig it. My words spray tight. They getting together on the Thursday nights. Yeah, when it comes to rhyming, you can call me the new dude. I spew true lyrics while y'all broadcast on YouTube. So let's get it. You know my lyrics are major. All up in the comments, they got plenty of haters, but they doing what they doing. Keep it ugly. We ending every show with the saying it's lovely. Let's go. Hey, shout out to y'all. Peace to the whole squad, man. Hope your channel is doing real well on YouTube. Hope you guys are having fun. And it was an honor and blessing to do this little custom freestyle for y'all. Hope you enjoy. Stay up. Yeah. Come on. Hey.
Hey. Yeah. Let's see how you do under pressure. Oh. I've been wanting this shit forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Okay.
All right. It's January 18th. We're on episode 368, the karate dubbed version of PHPUgly podcast. I have been doing some editing of our stuff.
I like it. I don't understand that. I swear, you told me about that issue, and I know we haven't started the show officially, I guess. I watched that all the way through yesterday without that slip in time.
Okay. If you're unfamiliar to what you're currently watching, we are a podcast that focuses on the PHP programming language, PHP community, and our business, PHP Architect, as well as PHP Tech, the conference we're running. I'm sure we'll talk about that a little bit. The show's made a little better thanks to some sponsorship, honeybadger.io, and our fantastic supporters on Patreon. We'll talk about all of them a little later in the show. But yeah, so if you're listening to the audio podcasts, this first half might not make a lot of sense to you because you don't get to listen to Harry Mack in the beginning of the show. But even if you did, you wouldn't have realized anything's wrong with the show. However, I've updated some of our videos because we moved to another music service. We were using Pretzel before, and I talked about some of the issues we've been having with them. We kept getting copy strikes against the music we're using, and the selection had really reduced a lot. So I actually looked through my emails and said, okay, who gave us the most copy strikes? And then I went to them as the service. I gotta be honest with you, it's called Epic Sound or something. I'm not going to pimp them too much because we just started using them, and they're not paying us for sponsorship or anything like that. But it's definitely a difference between night and day, because with their service, you can register like where you're using the music. You know, you have a limited amount where you can use their music, like only a certain amount of channels. And I went and registered them, and then immediately all those copyright strikes got lifted. Like,
oh really?
Because I put the YouTube channel in there, and YouTube just started sending me emails. Hey, congratulations! This strike has been lifted from your channel. I'm like, it still doesn't matter because we don't get monetized, but that's good to know. It's also cool because go ahead.
Do you want to help us get monetized? Hit the subscribe button below.
Subscribe and like and bells
Share
and
and all that.
whistles and whatever else there is. Just hit all the buttons. Except the thumb down. Stay away from that one. I don't know if YouTube still has a thumb down button.
They do. They don't show you the count anymore, but they have it.
Yeah, but the service is cool because now all the music you download or all the music in their library, I assume all the music, I haven't come across any that didn't. You can actually like just get the instrumentals, you can just get the drums, you can just get the vocals, like you can break down the part of the song that you want and just download that part of the song. It's kind of cool.
That is pretty
But okay, so here's what happened to the audio listeners. We play Harry Mack when the show starts. And yesterday I spent over an hour because every time I watched it on Restream, I saw a drift. Like Harry Mack, the video of Harry Mack was out of sync with the audio. And the weird thing about that is that's one file. Like the Canva is what I use to create those scenes, and you have the ability to have like a stream for the audio and a stream for the video, but Harry Mack isn't that. Harry Mack is all one video, right? There's no way to separate it. So I messaged John and I send John the video that I uploaded to Restream, because if you look at the video itself, the video is fine. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I wake up this morning and John's like, I don't see what you're talking about.
I logged into Restream, went and played it like we normally do, and saw no issue. And I watched it, from the beginning to the end, just in case it was like halfway through it started messing up. But no, it seemed fine. I think I was putting in my mind that it was off by like a millisecond, like just that tiniest bit, but not like what we saw just now.
So when I get back from the dog park this morning, I log in and I watch it and I don't see the drift anymore either. I'm like,
oh really?
Maybe it was a codecs thing. Like maybe it was still compiling the video or something. So I felt relieved. And then, of course, we fire it up. And first thing John messages is, hey, it wasn't doing this yesterday. So I actually have another version of the video. I want to see if the drift is there, too. So you guys get to listen to it one more time. And not the whole song. We'll just see the beginning here.
1, 2, 1, 2. Coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. 1, 2, 1, 2. Coming off the top.
Yeah, same thing, right? You saw it, right?
Yeah,
I don't know why it's doing that. I can't figure it. Computers are hard. Hey, Mike. Evening, Jeff. How's it going? Laravel, architect. Yes, Eric Mann is here saying hi to everybody in our Discord. I don't think I mentioned this yet, but if you want to be part of the show or any platform, you can message us and it'll show up in the video stream. However, if you really want to be part of the show, like you, Emmanuel, join us in our Discord at discord.phpugly.com. And the cool thing about being there is you get to see the replies when the bot posts show links. It will show up in Discord, but it doesn't show up on the other services. So your call, no charge. Pop it over to discord.phpugly.com and join the crew.
Andrew Woods is always a funny guy. He hit all the buttons on his keyboard because he said to.
Awesome. Corey, hi. Oh, for fuck's sake. Welcome back. Okay. Should we get tech news out of the way? Because you're trying to kill me. You're trying to kill me, Smalls.
How am I trying to kill you?
You're creating new ticket tiers, and I just don't know what to do with myself.
I'm doing all sorts of stuff lately.
Let's talk about it. We got some new ticket tiers. I need to update this.
Yes, we do.
So I got John to compromise something, but before we get there, let's talk about the new ticket tiers. Let's go ahead and talk about your genius here, Condon.
I'm assuming you're talking about the
money.
Yeah. So I went to Eric. I'm like, what if we're a full 3-day conference, and a lot of the other regional conferences are 2 days plus a tutorial day. And I was like, well, what if people just can't take 3 days off of work or off of school or whatever's going on? So we decided to come up with a 1-day and 2-day ticket option. So if you can only make it for a little bit of the conference, come out. You get to choose which day you're going to attend. So if you want to look at the schedule and base your decision off of that, go for it. But would love to have you join us.
Right. So yeah. So as a consequence to John trying to be nice to people, I get to be the bad guy, and we're ending early bird early, like a lot earlier. I'm not going to end it this week because this is the first week I get to rant about it, but I'm probably going to end it next Friday, and if not next Friday, for sure on the 31st. So if you're interested in getting the cheaper early bird price, even at the 2-day and 1-day ticket prices, yeah, you better do it quick because I'm shutting things down. My whole thing is, okay, well, if people haven't bought early bird by now, they're probably not going to buy it. So I'm killing it.
Right. And it was a compromise I had to make because I wanted the 1 and 2-day ticket, and Eric was like, no.
You're lucky that's the only other compromise. I tell you what, if somebody hadn't already purchased a 2-day ticket, there was going to be other compromises, but there still might be. I haven't gotten around to that yet. But yeah,
I was surprised. It was within a day that we added that somebody bought one.
Yeah, it was crazy, right? It's like, what are they looking at? Or like, did that just happen, or were they like watching the prices on the website?
Possibly. If you want to go back there, the other thing I did was, instead of you having to email us for quantity discounts, I went ahead and just built it into the price, and you can see it right there. If you're going to buy multiple tickets, we added, if you buy 2, you get a 5% discount. 3, I think it went to 10, and then 4, it went up a little bit more. So if you're bringing your team, again, early bird's going to end soon. There's also a discount on top of that for quantity discounts. So bring your team out, have some fun with us.
Yeah, there was we actually had a record day yesterday. A couple of teams bought tickets, packs of tickets. So that was good to see. Always good to see that. So yeah, come out and join us, and be part of the crew, be part of the community.
We talked to people that hadn't been to a conference before, and I don't know if my big thing is, how do I reach people that don't know conferences exist? So I started spamming LinkedIn yesterday.
That's always a great way. Just start spamming people. Yeah.
So it turns, if you have a business starter account, you can send up to like 15 messages a month. Whoa, I can get crazy here. To people that you're not connected to. So I just started reaching out, trying to find PHP developers, especially in that geographic area, to say, hey, did you know conferences exist and you should think about coming out and joining us? But if you've never been to one, it's such a blast, right? You get to hang out with some really cool people, make new friends. So the networking is amazing. Learning new technologies or the current best practices of the time. And at Past Techs, like, amazing things have happened. I think that's where the PHP Fig got started. And it's just so much goes on in just a few days. And if you come out with your team, not only do you get that learning experience, the camaraderie of hanging out and doing stuff, but I've been there with teams in the past before running conferences, and the amount of work you can get done in just a couple of days because you get that brainstorming time. You're not bombarded with stuff you have to get done at the office per se. Maybe you come up with something new that you just weren't doing before.
Yeah. A perfect example of that sort of thing is, not only do you get to talk to other great PHP people, and I promise this whole show is not going to be about PHP tech, but like, the thing that always blows me away is you get to interact with the creators of some of the biggest packages, biggest frameworks, biggest tools on the market. Things like PHP Unit, Xdebug, Composer, who is, I don't know, I mean, so Private Packagist, which is run by the creators of Composer, right, John? I'm not lying yet, am I?
Right. Nope.
Okay. They are going to be a sponsor on the show. So, on the show, I wish on the show at the conference. Not only are they going to be a sponsor, but they're going to give a talk about Composer or packages. I forget which one they're talking about, but they're there for you to interact with. For you have questions, you can talk to the people who are behind the actual projects. I just love that about just conferences in general.
Corey called you out on your speech pattern of you get to interact with the biggest tools on the market.
It's supposed to be subliminal, Corey. That's why they call it subliminal messaging.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
This show got off to a weird start. Normally, we start talking. Eric, how's your week been?
It was okay. Getting back in the office. I told you guys last week I had issues with my knee, so I started this week off with some doctor's appointments and getting everything ordered for my injections, which is a pain. But yeah, getting back down, getting caught up, talking to clients. We're really close to finishing up all the pre-stuff for a new client, which I'm super excited about getting that up and running. It's going well. I could use another vacation though. But no, it's going good. It's going good. How about you, John? How was your week?
Good. I've been researching home assistants. I mean, I've had the Echo devices. I have the Google devices.
Gotcha.
I have Samsung Smart Things, and I've had that for years, and it just doesn't interact with everything. And I've since moved to having an Apple iPhone, so now I have access to HomeKit. So it's like I have all of this disparate stuff, like the Philips Hue bridge, and like just such a pain in the butt. So I finally started setting up HomeKit, which works pretty well. And then I set up HomeBridge on one of those Raspberry Pi 400 keyboards that we have, just because I had it sitting here not doing anything. So loaded HomeBridge up on that. It was pretty cool. So now I've got that sitting up on my shelf.
HomeBridge or Home Assistant?
HomeBridge is an open source Raspberry Pi software. Like it kind of brings everything together.
Hello.
And then HomeKit talks to that. So trying to start to bring everything together and make it a little more user friendly, especially for my wife and myself too, because it just sits there and does nothing for the most part.
Interesting. So I actually just ordered 2 Raspberry Pi Zeros because I've had some little projects I wanted to work on, and the Raspberry Pi Zeros with Wi-Fi have been out of stock for a while. And I got a notification saying, "Hey, we have some Zeros in stock." So I kind of swooped in and purchased a couple of them. This might actually end up on that list of things I want to do with them. But I still got my little pies behind me. This guy right here is running that DNS server. What's it called again? I forget. The
Pi-hole.
Pi-hole. And I'm kind of done playing with it because I only had like one computer that was using it. So maybe I'll just install this there. This is very interesting. I am going to have to check this out.
It actually has a Docker version, so you can just throw it on your Linux machine too if you wanted to.
Or I could throw it on the Pi because I got Docker running on the Pi.
There you go. Lots of ways to do it.
I like it. I like it. I'm gonna have to give this a look. So
This
I
actually,
used Home Assistant, which is an open source project that kind of does the same thing, but it's just as cumbersome to use than anything else. It's a pain in the ass.
yeah, this actually all started because I'm adding all these LED lights. You know, you inspired me with the ones behind you, and now I'm being inundated with YouTube videos of LED lights, and I'm watching way too many of them.
Because some of them look really cool, right? It's like, oh
Right.
man.
And some of
Yeah.
like buying the separate controller and coding it yourself using something like WLED to actually control it. I'm actually like, man, do I want to replace all my Christmas lights with LEDs?
Right? It's
Yeah.
very easy to go down that rabbit hole.
And it seems so much more convenient than the strands of crap I got now. So
Yeah.
and
All right. Go ahead.
it's just fun stuff.
Yeah. All right. So talking about conferences a little bit, we talked about tech. We're done with tech talk for now. Not going to go back to tech. That's probably a lie. We'll probably go back to tech, but I'm just going to put it out there. I've talked to you guys a lot about Scale, which is very kind of close, near to my heart. It's just a generic open source conference. So that's out there. There is a discount code for Scale, Southern California Linux Expo. If you want to attend, it's in Pasadena, California, which is up the road a little bit. And you can use the discount code UGLY, UGLY, and it'll give you, I think, 50% off your ticket. So give that a look. But we have a new player to the game. I mean, not new player, but somebody else has announced their conference. Laracon. Laracon is getting a little, I don't know what word to use, cowboy. I don't know. They're moving to Dallas, Texas next year, August 27th through the 28th. You can't buy tickets, but you can get on a wait list so that when they do go on sale, you'll have like 15 minutes to buy them because they're doing something right and selling out like crazy. Not sure what it is, but yeah. So Laracon.us, they've updated their website. I don't know any of these people who they have speaking. I'm sure, they're not really worth listening to. You got Taylor. I think he might be behind the framework somehow. Caleb. I heard he has a package out there, Livewire or something. I don't know how good it is. I only talk about it all the time. Nuno, who's my boy. I like Nuno. He hung out with me at Tech. And this prime age guy, I don't know anything about him. He's a dork, I'm sure. You tell him I said that! Because, he'd rather be in Dallas than Chicago. Whatever. It was my idea. I have it on tape that I said it first. So I called dibs, and it was not respected by Laracon.
Taylor did not respect it, huh?
You did not respect my dibs.
Hey, Code Lorex, if you don't want A-Woods to win the naming game, you have to suggest some names. That's just the way it works.
How would somebody suggest a name, John?
Join us in Discord, discord.phpugly.com, and then it's bang, which if you're not familiar, the exclamation point, bang title, and give us your title suggestion. Yeah. Knock A-Woods off his podium.
Guy's been living large, living off that title money for years now.
Hey, let me move that card over for you.
Oh, are we done talking about that? I thought there was more to that.
You could say it's talking about what? I'm confused now.
We're moving on. We're going to move on.
Oh, thank you.
Did you hear Bitcoin is now being traded on the stock market?
I did not hear that.
It has like, I don't know a lot about stock market things. So if anybody in Discord wants to help kind of clarify the bullshit I'm about to spiel, that would be great. But I guess there's a ETF, which I'm not sure what an ETF is. So you're not buying Bitcoin, you're buying the Bitcoin ETF, which is the same as buying gold ETFs, because I guess gold was the other one that they did it. But regardless, by it being on the stock exchange, banks have basically acknowledged, hey, this is a real currency. Like that, we need to kind of figure out what the value is going to be by having this exchange out there, so that people can tell us what this is going to, what this should be going for. I don't do stock market stuff. I have a guy for that. I have it's a 401k, so I just blindly throw it into a bucket. I'm like, how much money do I have now? But it's interesting that the financial institutions have basically acknowledged that this is real. This is a real thing. For how long has it been like it's a scam? Like Bitcoin's a scam. It's not something that's actual. Now it is. And this is Bitcoin. This isn't all. This isn't in cryptocurrency in general, where you have these pump and dump schemes of these different coins. This is Bitcoin, the OG cryptocurrency. So yeah, that link will be in our show notes. I really don't have a lot more to say about it. I'm into Bitcoin. I like the concept of a global currency that we can pay people across in another country without a bunch of exchange rates and figuring out all that stuff. I like this. I thought it was cool. I thought I would share with everybody. Yeah, that's all I have to say. John, anything?
I want to be more into Bitcoin. I sold all mine so that I could learn how to fly, and I don't have any now, and it makes me sad.
But you have the experience of flying now. You really don't want to know, because I left mine in. Like I had pulled out what I had invested plus a good chunk of change for some other stuff, and then I had a amount that I just left in there for years now, and basically forgot about it. And I looked at it when I saw this news. I'm like, hey, I got some Bitcoin out there. I should take a look at that. Yeah, it's doing all right. I'm not complaining. Not complaining at all. So, yes.
I talked to somebody when I was in Texas, and they swore by it. They're like, it's going to go through these cycles, but it's going to big numbers. Okay.
I can't see how it can get. Although I've been saying this for a while, but I can't see how it can keep going up. Like, it just doesn't make sense. But I think that way about gold too. It's like, how does gold keep increasing in value? It's the same gold. Like, nothing is changing about it. Why does it keep going up? But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how money works, man. I just know that the tax man wants his cut and spend it. What?
Bitcoin's getting back up to where it was many years ago.
Mm-hmm. It's doing bad. So we might be talking Bitcoin a lot again.
Back in the day, remember that?
Do you want to talk PHP, or do you want to talk business? You want to talk business?
I want that bottom card that you have on your list, because I saw that pop up, and we are not allowed to use it.
That's why I put it on there. So what John's talking about is we've talked in the past about how we've started using Notion for a lot of our workflows at PHP Architect. It's a tool I started using. I was looking to replace Evernote, and I ended up not doing it. And John and I figured out some workflows from PHP Architect, so it's still within my mix. And now they have a calendar app, because we need another calendar app, apparently. I didn't know we did, But of course, I've got to try all the new and shiny things, and I was really curious about how it integrated into the Notion product itself. So I went to download it, and to John's point, whoever's in charge of our Google account has like blocked us from being able to use this calendar. And that might be me, and it might be because I can't figure out how to unblock it, because I go in there and look, I'm like, it doesn't look like I'm blocking anything. So I keep meaning to look into that.
I had that same thing with something else recently. I had to go into the Google settings and re-enable it. My assumption is Notion has a lot of tutorials out there, like to-do apps and like ways to use their application, I guess, for lack of a better word. And I can see calendaring being huge within that. I don't think it's meant to be just your calendar, but again, I haven't watched the video on it, so I don't know.
Yeah. It integrates with your Google Calendar, so I assume it's supposed to be just your calendar. And honestly, I don't really use the standalone calendar app, but I'm open to using it, just because I would like to not have to keep that tab open in my browser, since we do a lot of
app?
Huh?
What do you mean the standalone calendar app?
I said I don't use a standalone calendar app, like an application that's just for calendar.
I started
but I'm
using
not opposed to it.
Yeah, I started using the one that comes with Mac, the Mac calendar app, just to try and get better with the notifications, because like you said, I have the tabs open and I want the notifications to come in, but I miss so many of my calendar notifications. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And frustrating.
And you feel like it's better now?
It has been, usually because my reminders show up in the top right and stay there until I recognize them. But
all right, that's decent. Yeah, I would give this a look, but I'm not paying for it. I don't know. Was there a price? I didn't even see. It's free, right?
I have no clue. I logged into Notion to do some stuff for the magazine. That pops up right away saying, "Hey, we have this," and I'm like, "All right, I'll enable it." Click. Oh, you're not allowed. I'm like, "Okay, forget it." I was literally in the middle of doing something else anyway, and I was like, "Oh, shiny!" And
it does say get Notion Calendar for free. It has integrations with Notion, of course, Google Calendar, Google Meets, Zoom, Arc, and other providers. Yeah, I don't know. There's a Mac, and it doesn't look like there's an Android app. Oh my God. I'm about
You're being attacked.
This cat is planning my demise. I know he is. He's all friendly to me now. He's up to something. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look like there's any cost to it, but we'll get it enabled. We'll figure out what we need, what check boxes we need to make, and make that happen. Oh boy. Okay, so I know I said we wouldn't talk about tech, and we're not technically going to talk about tech, but
I wasn't talking about anything.
No. Me.
Oh.
I'm about to. But if we have any Reddit users out there, I did create a post in Reddit for PHP Tech. If you wouldn't mind popping over there and giving it a little thumbs up, we got our upvote. We got 11 upvotes already. Wow, that's cool. I wish they'd let you put like an image in here. There was like no way to put it. I made it a link post, and there's no way to add an image, and I don't understand why it's not getting the image, because there's plenty of images on the website it can be getting, and it doesn't seem to get any of them, and I'm not even sharing it with you guys. Sorry about that. So yeah, if you happen to be a Reddit user, head over to r/PHP and give the conference a little upvote, just to kind of give it some visibility. We would appreciate that tremendously.
Probably should put some verbiage in there, huh? A little bit more.
I don't know what the correct Reddit etiquette is as far as like what's too much, because it's our conference. So I think technically I shouldn't be making the post. Like, I think that's part of the etiquette. Like, you don't make a post about your thing. So I don't know, man. I just did it. I don't think
it's hard when like you want to get the word out. Like, how do you get the word out without offending people or doing things like you have to market to some extent?
Right, exactly. So
Speaking of which, I started getting into LinkedIn ads, and that is just a pain in the butt.
What's that like?
It's like all of these platforms, what you think you should be clicking on is not the right thing. And I'm like, why is this not like, I want to go here. And it's like, I click on something else. And all of a sudden I'm like, where I think I'm drilling down, it wasn't when I clicked on the word, like whatever, like the campaign group, they call it. But if I clicked over here, then I saw what I was trying to drill down. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. I don't know why.
Yeah, I kind of the same. I've been kind of doing a similar dilemma. I wasn't kidding. I have a 401k, and I'm trying to roll it over to my financial institution. And like, no matter what buttons I click, I can't seem to roll it over. I get to like the last step. It says, "Oh, your account doesn't qualify for this type of rollover." I'm like, why? Can you tell me why so I know what to click next time?
Why are you rolling over there versus into the business 401k? Or is it just what somebody told you to do?
Personal fucking questions here, John. I'm working with a financial advisor.
Did you know we had a 401k through the business?
Oh yeah, I know, because we pay it for all our employees. We do a match. So if you're interested to having 401k and health benefits, let us know, because we may be bringing on some people. But yeah, no, I definitely knew we had that 401k, and it's a good 401k. But yeah, this is I've been meeting with a financial advisor through my financial institution. We've talked about some different other options that basically can yield a higher percentage, but shouldn't yield a less percentage than where it's at now. You know, none of that's ever guaranteed, and it freaks me out because here in the US, we're coming up on a very weird and crazy election cycle. And there's just no predicting what the market's going to do, regardless of who wins, who loses, or the policies that are implemented for that next 4 years. It's going to be a crazy and wild, like Mr. Toad sort of ride. And that really terrifies me more than anything. But the issue is all of our 401ks, at least, here in the US, I don't know how 401ks work around the world. I don't know any of that stuff. But here in the US, it's all dependent on that stock market we talked about earlier that is recognized in Bitcoin now. That's how crazy the world is. So it's like, unless you really understand what you're doing and you have that granular control over where your money's being invested, it's kind of a crapshoot. For people like me, it's just like, okay, try not to lose all my money. Go,
Yep. Nothing guaranteed. We actually had somebody, again, reaching out, trying to get sponsors for tech or people to attend tech, and had somebody internationally saying, listen, your politics are just too crazy right now. I can't do it. Like,
oh, seriously?
Yeah.
I missed that one.
Our politics make it very difficult for international people to come into the US, especially with the person that's running right now, wanting to basically shut down all the borders. I'm like, I get it. I wish I could say otherwise, and I'm terrified about what's happening this year, but
all right, let's talk about, since you brought up sponsor, let's take a minute, seeing how we're 41 minutes into this week's show, and thank Honey Badger for sponsoring today's show.
Thanks to our friends at honeybadger.io for sponsoring this podcast. Monitoring, like web development, can be complicated. There are tons of tools and techniques, but you just want to know that your app is up and that your customers are happy. When your customers encounter a problem, you need clear, actionable intelligence, not walls of charts and reams of logs to tail. That's why they built Honey Badger, the monitoring tool we always wanted. A tool that's there when you need it and gets out of your way when you don't. so that you can keep shipping code, know when critical errors occur, and which customers are affected. Respond instantly when your systems go down. Improve the health of your systems over time and fix problems before your customers can report them. Honeybadger is the application health monitoring tool built for you, the developer who cares about a quality product and happy customers. Be the hero of your team and sign up for a free trial and start monitoring today at honeybadger.io. Setup takes as little as 5 minutes. See what you've been missing and fix it. Once again, that's www.honeybadger.io. Thanks,
Thank you,
Honeybadger.
What are you laughing about? Why is Sarah talking about Coronado? Coronado Beach is nice.
Because she said she would move here and work for us pretty cheaply if we buy her a place on the beach.
Does it have to be Coronado? Because, I mean, you know. And what's a place? Because here in San Diego, like, tents can be considered places now.
We'll get you a tent downtown.
Did I ever tell you the story of my friend who owned a house in Coronado? I feel like I have, but it's been a while. So if you don't know, Coronado is it's famous for where the Navy SEALs train. It's it's not an island. It's technically attached to the mainland through Imperial Beach, but it's here in San Diego. It's kind of cool because it comes up and separates the Pacific Ocean from the bay, right? Or one of the bays here in San Diego. So it's kind of cool. Needless to say, it's small. It's one of these communities where people have golf carts and drive around in golf carts, and also they're very wealthy, right? I mean, like small places. But back in the day, we're talking 20 years ago now, 25 years ago when I was working in the enterprise, when I first started working in the enterprise, one of the developers there owned a house in Coronado. He'd grown up in Coronado. He bought the house, I think, from his mother or something. I mean, it was nothing like crazy. Like he wasn't like this really wealthy developer. Just had this house in his family for a while. It was I'd never been there. According to him, he's like, it's a very little, small, modest home, but it did him well, and him and his wife well. And randomly, and keep in mind, again, this is 20 something years ago, randomly, somebody knocks on his front door. He opens up. He goes, "Hi, my name is such and such. I'd like to offer you a couple $1 million for your home." And he thought the guy was joking. He's like, "Thanks, but no." He goes, no, I'm serious. I'll give you a couple $1 million for your home as is today. We can close. You'll have your money, and you can move on. Now, he wasn't like super attached to San Diego. He was. This has been in his house. His house has been in his family for a while, but it was like one of those things. Like, are you nuts? But he took the guy up on it. Ended up moving just north of San Diego in this at the time was a new area that was just exploding called Temecula. Took $2 million, retired, completely stopped working, got a house that was 3 times the size as his place in Coronado up here in Temecula. And that's the last I heard of the dude. The guy is just like living Vida Loco or something, man. The guy just like, and it was like the most, he came to work and was telling us this story. And like the whole time, I'm like, it's got to be a scam, right? Like, there's no way this guy's going to give like, he didn't have his house in the market or anything. He's not just going to give him a couple $1 million. And then like a month later, he's like, "Peace out, people." And he hit the lottery or something.
The check cleared. I'm gone.
pretty much how it played down. And he talked about it. He was like, "Yeah, I'm they were closing on the house in Coronado." He's like, I'm making an offer on a house in Temecula, and if they accept that offer, I'm going to move up there, and I don't want to drive down to San Diego every day. So, because remote work wasn't a thing back then. So he was like, "I'm not driving back down here every day. So if I get that house, it's over. I'm out." And yeah, he got the house. It was the craziest thing. He's a good guy too. I mean, he was a very modest guy. Although who knows? Like, money changes people. He could be, doing lines of coke off bathroom tubs. I don't know what rich people do. I'm not rich. I imagine cocaine's involved, but I'll let you know if I ever get there. So, but no, I can't imagine he did that. He was a real cool guy.
He's listening right now, like, what are you talking about?
Oh, I thought about that today. You realize, like, we have clients that pay us for work that we typically will talk about that work on the show, who could very literally be listening to us now. So I'm only talking about the clients I like. So we won't be talking about clients very much. No, I'm kidding. I like you all most of the time.
You always have the bad days, but there's lots of great days too. It's the way it works.
All right, so let's talk about bad days.
Let's talk about bad days.
I don't know how I feel about this as a business owner. I can appreciate it as a employee. We've talked about Cloudflare in the past, right? This should not be surprising people. We use Cloudflare for certain things. I use it a lot for my systems. It was my go-to before I got really hooked on Tailscale, and I still use it for a few things. Anyhow, I say all this because let me ask you, as a CEO of one of the leading companies focused on technology today, John, how would you feel if you let somebody go only to find out they made a TikTok about it?
I guess I haven't seen this video, so I guess it depends on what the TikTok was and what happened.
So, I'm for those watching us live, it should be queuing up and coming in Discord here momentarily. I watched the YouTube channel because that has the actual TikTok in it. Let me share the article though for now. All right, so
live,
huh?
Huh?
You're breaking up. I can't. You keep breaking up. What are you trying to say, John?
I was saying it was a recorded call. The thing that was posted. Like, if we let somebody go and we had a conversation with them and they recorded it and released that's kind of what happened, right?
Right. So clearly they knew they were getting laid off. They didn't record the video, like I assume it was like a Zoom call or something. It's just their phone. It's focused on them. You can hear what's being said, and obviously you can hear her response. And she basically calls him out. She basically says, hey, this is bullshit. So what happens, it's Cloudflare. It's a Cloudflare employee. And again, understand, it's hard to comprehend sometimes because a lot of us are used to working in small shops. PHP Architect is a very small shop. But when you get to enterprise level, or I imagine where Cloudflare is, you're no longer, like, they don't know you. Like, they don't care about you. You are a number in their system that has a weight against it. And I don't mean that to be cynical. I don't mean that to be, oh, hey, don't think that company you work for loves you, because they don't. But that's not the point. It's just the way the world is. But this person kind of calls bullshit, and rightfully so. Essentially, there's like this spiel you'll get, especially in enterprise, but smaller shops do it as well, where it says, oh, hey, we've been looking at your performance metrics, and you're not really meeting up to our standards, so I'm afraid we're just going to have to part ways. And it's meant to be this very nice, polite, we don't think you worked hard enough, so we're going to let you go. But she called him out and brought receipts, basically saying, no, I'm going to stop you right there. What you're saying is not true. Everything I've been doing has been above and beyond what's been expected of me. My manager has told me that, keeping in mind their manager wasn't even on this call. It was some guy from HR, and I don't know who, or a lady from HR and some other person. I don't know who they were in relation to who she was, but she didn't know the HR person for sure. And it was just like one of these wow companies just basically make up facts of letting people go.
Yep.
It's nuts. But yeah, that's the way the world works. How do you feel about this, John?
I think I feel like you do. Like as an employer, that sucks. But again, I'm not going to make something up to fire somebody. But as an employee, it's like, go you're fighting for yourself. You're standing up for yourself, which is good, right? Letting people go is never fun. It's never easy.
And it shouldn't be.
It's the last thing we ever want to do. And again, to your point earlier, we're a small company. We care about all of our employees on a personal level. They're not just numbers. I don't think I'd ever want to be so big. I mean, obviously I want a successful company, but to not know the employees and to not care about the individuals would really suck.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. You just got to harden up a little, John. You do it all the time. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and I've tried to stop. Like, I fell into that whole pit of, hey, we're a family. Hey, we're a family. You know, our company's a family. And I realized, I'm like, that's not fair. And I shouldn't say that because we're not a family. You know, and if I need to let somebody go, I'm going to let somebody go, and I'm not going to loan you money. So piss off.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I don't loan family money either.
You and I had this talk lots, especially early on, where I think we both started on that route, like wanting this tight knit family type business where we all got along, because there was 3 of us that started Diego Dev back in the day, and unfortunately one of them didn't stay a part of it, but we started it with that mentality of we really want to work together and we really like, we want to make this a success. Then you start hiring people and you realize, yeah, they were friends when you hired them, you knew them, things were good, but at the end of the day, they want a paycheck. We have to supply a paycheck. To them, it's not a family. It's a job. They're here to do good work, grow as people.
And that's the harsh reality of it is, looking at the other side of that coin, our company goes under. They're just out of a job. They find another job. John and I are financially ruined and we have to figure out a way to kind of build our life back up and find a job. Right. So it's and that became the reality to me. It's like, okay, of course they're not going to care about the business as much as I care about the business because they're not financially invested and they shouldn't be financially invested. It's not their company. It was something I struggled with a lot, especially early on in the Diego Dev days of, well, why don't they care more about the company? It's like, because they don't need to care more about the company, Eric. I've gotten better. And that's not to say the people who work for us don't care about the company. We work with a great group of people. Most have been with us for 10 plus years at minimum. So I'm not saying that we hire insensitive people who just work 9 to 5 and go home. That's not what I'm implying. I'm saying my expectation out of them, they could have never achieved what I wanted from them initially as, a person in my life, because I didn't see them as employees. I didn't think they saw me as a boss, and that wasn't fair. And so, yeah, so we got great people who work for us. We always have. We try to be careful, slow to hire, quick to fire sort of approach to life. We haven't always been that, but yeah, it's just the reality of the world.
Yep. No, I can't wait to go watch this video afterwards. I want to see what happens.
Yeah, it's pretty brief. I'm curious about the fallout because I know different states have different laws as far as what you can record and how you can record people. Right. This is a San Francisco based company. I don't know where they were at, so I don't know all the details, but yeah. But people are giving us a hard time.
Yeah, Butter shared a meme What would you say you do here? From the Office Space. Great movie. No, I think our employees do that to us.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I can totally see Kaylin saying, Eric, what exactly do you do? Because I've lost sight of it. Don't ask these questions, Kaylin.
I walk out. So I walk out and talk to my wife sometimes, and it's just like there are days where I've done so many different things, but none of them very well. And I'm like, I said it to her today. I said, I feel like I'm running in mud because I start something, I get pulled by somebody else into something different. On top of that, you got the conference and trying to find attendees and trying to find sponsors and trying to make sure you're getting contracts out to new potential clients and contracts out to sponsors. And it's just like
paying people.
There's so much to do. On top of that, answering support emails for PHP Architect. That's like, we don't have a support team. So Eric and I answer the support emails, and there are days where it's like, I just don't want to, and they sit there for way too long, and I feel bad. And it's like, we need to hire a support person.
At least to triage them. I mean, that would be nice, and just to follow up. That's the hardest thing about the support tickets is the follow up. You think something's resolved, and then it's not. And that's just like support tickets. Keep in mind for the magazine, these aren't our client support tickets for issues. Where did John go? I lost John.
All of a sudden, my connection dropped for a second.
That was weird. These are just support tickets for the magazine. Nothing. People are beating us up today. Nothing for client tickets. We typically have, and it's a little bit of a struggle. Each client can have a different ticketing system that they use because they have full companies that they're running off these ticketing systems. So we can't expect them to adhere to any single ticketing system we use. It's quite the juggle to kind of keep all this stuff current.
I don't want to burst your bubble, but we're about to add another one to the mix.
I know. All right, enough bitching and moaning about how successful our company is. It isn't. Let's take this opportunity to thank our supporters on Patreon, who we would appreciate money from, or we appreciate your money. Thank you very much. Buttery, good news for you. In another 3 years, you'll qualify for a 401k. That's a lie, Buttery. Don't hold me to that, please. I don't know how the laws are in Japan.
If you're recording this, I think that's against the law. So don't record this conversation.
No recordings of this discussion at all can be. I'll copyright you, strike you, whatever it's called. We're very bad at business, just so you know. We're good developers. We're great developers. I don't know what we were thinking. Oh, yeah. What else? You know what's been bugging me? I'll keep the Patreon people up for now, and then we'll just move on. But so I didn't give you a heads up on this. It is in the Trello, so I'm going to move the card over. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's the newest scam out there of getting an Amazon business account. So back in the day, John and I had an Amazon business account for the company. And honestly, I stopped using it because there was no benefit to it. First off, I couldn't use my Prime shipping stuff to it. It seemed like everything I found on the business account was more expensive than on a personal account. So I'm like, why are we using this? This is stupid.
Just use your
Yeah,
we use our personal account with Prime and use a business card for business expenses, and you're good to go.
Right. For the last 6 months or so, I get inundated with emails, with phone calls of I'm such and such from Amazon Business, and we'd like to give you a free business account. And I've even told them when they've gotten me on the phone, I'm like, what does it give me? Well, it makes sure you get the best prices and this. I'm like, well, I'm already a Prime member, so are the prices better than Prime? Well, not necessarily better, not necessarily, or not at all. You know, I just drill them Because I figure the longer I keep them on the phone, the less time they have to be on the phone with somebody else. And I just kind of enjoy this stuff. I'm weird like that. But like nobody's ever able to answer why a business account. And is this just some sort of like MLM now? Like what's going on?
Well, I don't know about that part, but I think our business is different. We're the owners. We're buying stuff for the business however we want to, right? But if we had employees that needed to buy stuff, I think we could have an account and have set limits or set give certain people access to buy things. So I think there's benefits that way. Not that I didn't dive into it and make sure of that, so I could be making it all up, but that would be my assumption of a business account.
Yeah.
Our
business account is John just giving people his credit card in Chicago saying, hey, run to Staples and buy these things.
And yes, you have to take an Uber, and no, I'm not paying for it.
Oh, Chicago. Chicago.
It's 96 days away. Is that what it is? Something crazy.
What's the temperature in Chicago right now?
I don't know. Well,
Sarah, what's the temperature?
While you're asking that, I have a PubSub question for you. Do you do much with PubSub, like Pusher or any of the PubNub or any of those?
No, I used to. I worked with a client I did a bunch of PubSub stuff with, but not recently, no.
I asked because there's a big debate going on between me and some other team members on the best way to use PubSub. And we have a couple of different things we use right now that kind of mimic what PubSub is, and it's not great, but it works. And we're trying to standardize and make it better. And one team member is adamant that the events that come through something like PubNub need to be very small and not have any information other than maybe an ID. So the event will come into the browser with an ID. The browser then needs to make an API call to the app and get the latest information. And there's other people on the team that say, well, why not pass this small payload? Because we're only talking 2 or 3 data points. And you send so from the application, you push to the PubSub service. Why not include those 2 or 3 data points so that when it comes into the browser, you already have it, versus application, PubSub, browser, back to application, back to browser. And I understand this point of not including that data makes your application the only source of truth, and you're not passing potentially PII data, because we're talking about a person's name and that's it. No, like we know there's a million Bob Smiths, so that's not really personally identifiable. But to this point, you're also you have one source of truth, not data out there where you're relying on somebody else's security model. Just wondering if you had opinions on that.
Yeah, especially when it's PII. I don't really have a huge opinion on it.
But I'm not even before PII. So, this was just little packets of data.
So where you want the little packets of data?
I'm torn on that additional API call back to the application that originally sent the message. So it's that going in a full circle. You're only using the PubSub service to be, to get that real-time connection with the browser versus having to also maintain a WebSocket connection.
Yeah. And that's I'm kind of just get the minimum. That's kind of where I was going. Getting the minimum amount of information I need to get whatever more information I need. So I'm kind of a fan of that. Like using the PubSub model sparingly. Like I just hold this UUID for me. I'll just hold these 2 data points for me, and I'll get everything off this information. Is kind of where I am. But I don't have a good reason, especially if you take out PII data from it. I don't have a good reason for that. I guess my question would be that what would be your line? Like, where do you draw the line as far as what you'd want in that payload?
Right. And that's the hard part. It's knowing what's going into the UI and the real-time part of it and what's updating. It's not a lot, but we had people in Discord already say that data gets outdated, queues get backed up. Yeah,
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a really good point.
All that. It's just becomes hard because you've already done the query to get the data, to push it, to query it again. Yeah.
Okay. Listen, I hate to quickly end the show, but I know Mr. Congdon here has a hard stop. But we might need to rethink our Chicago hosting of tech if it's this cold. Like, it's going to have to warm up a lot over the next couple of months for me to be happy. Jeffrey in Discord, have no fear. The Cubs are in town. I've already confirmed that. It was one of the things I looked at when scheduling this year's conference because they weren't in town last year. So the Cubs are there, and the L train drops you off right at the stadium. It's like a $2.50 ride to the stadium. So yes, that's there. I don't want to rush you out the door. John, do you have anything else you want to talk about before we wrap this up?
No, I think that was a good one.
Do you understand? You appreciate the fact that I kept in mind that you need to go?
I do appreciate that.
I try to watch it back. All right.
I was
kind of an abrupt ending to this week's show, but we appreciate everybody who hung out with us. We had quite a few people online. I even saw Bo is in our Discord. Did you see that? Bo's in our Discord.
I just joined. Yeah.
Show. I hope Bo's watching the show. I'm a big fan of Bo. He's a DJ. I do like his music. He's a developer too, I hear. Corey hung out with us. We appreciate it.
I feel bad. I think he's just freshly looking for a job as well. I think I saw that. Sorry, Bo.
Really? Oh, well, yeah, there's the sorry part, but there's also the, hey, this might be an opportunity, John. All right, we'll talk about all that later.
Wait, before we go, since Bo is here. Bo, last year at, I think it was Longhorn, I walk up to somebody, I started talking to him. I swore it was you. I called him Bo. He looked at me and was like, he's like, oh, what? I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
I remember you telling me that. I don't remember you telling me you thought it was Bo. Yeah. I thought you told me it was somebody else. That's too funny.
Thought it was.
Well,
it was
who knows? This year at Longhorn, you can walk up to somebody else and say hi, Bo. All right, that's gonna be it. I said that was gonna be it. That's gonna be it. That's it for episode 368. Is it 68? Wow, that's crazy.
368.
What are we doing? I'm Eric.
And I'm John.
Keep it ugly.
1, 2, 1, 2. Coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. He's never on some average shit. You know, Eric, he stays loud and passionate. I'm about to break it down for y'all with the clever song. Yo, shout the host named Thomas, cause he's never wrong. Yo, shout to John. You know that he's smart and quiet, unlike my freestyles, which cause a riot. I'm about to do it like this, cause the people love me. Shouts out to PHP, the ugly. It's called ugly cause it's not professional, but I'm about to come through and bless it with style. So let's do it when I'm spitting, I perfume the room. Yo, the segment of the show is called Doom and Gloom. That came from Thomas. Yeah, can nobody go beyond this? I get the mic and then I'm about to keep it like a promise. Yeah, and y'all know we fill them up with anguish. We talking about the PHP, the programming language. About to break it down, no exaggeration. What do y'all do for a living? Web applications. Okay, I can dig it, my words spray tight. They getting together on the Thursday nights. Yeah, when it comes to rhyming, you can call me the new dude. I spew true lyrics while y'all broadcast on YouTube. So let's get it, you know my lyrics are major. All up in the comments, they got plenty of haters, but they doing what they doing. Keep it ugly, we ending every show with the saying it's lovely. Let's go. Hey, shout out to y'all. Peace to the whole squad, man. Hope your channel is doing real well on YouTube. Hope you guys are having fun. And it was an honor and blessing to do this little custom freestyle for y'all. Hope you enjoy. Stay up. Yeah. Come on. Hey.
doing some experimenting.
What are you
I'm
going
going
to
to experiment.
with the drift in the audio video? Thanks everyone for
Well,
hanging out with us. Appreciate you so
yeah,
much.
feel free to hang out. John's going to probably drop off here. So I'm uploading
Yeah,
the
very soon,
intro
actually.
video. I'm uploading the intro video to the same device that we've run that video out of. So now it's different. It's not the video clip that takes over the show.
Right, it's the source.
Right. So I'm uploading it to a source. It's encoding it right now, and I'm going to see if it drifts in the source as well. Bo's helping me out with your PubSub stuff here.
Yeah, I know. I'm just going to put it back into the show notes so that it's there. So the link may come in again, but we will add it so it's in there.
Yeah. All right. 58%. Anybody hanging out? If this is your first time listening to the show, you're wondering what's going on, this is the after show. We hang out typically for about 15-20 minutes, although John's going to be bouncing here pretty soon.
Got to get my kid to drums.
Drums?
Yeah, he's been doing drum class for a year and a half, 2 years now.
You hate your life, huh? Have a kid banging on drums.
So Santa one year brought him up a full drum kit, and it's sitting right outside on the other side of my wall here. And my wife asked me today, she's like, is it okay if he practices drums? I'm like, no. And she goes, oh, you're recording, that's right. So she went in and like, if you're gonna do it now. And he's like, nah.
What's funny about that is John's kids have done multiple musical instruments, including the piano. John has his noise canceling headphones on, so I hear them practicing more than he does. I'm like, dude, you got your kids play piano. Now, you sure I don't hear it? I'm like, how can you not hear that?
I love noise canceling headphones. Yeah, my little ones start playing harp as well as piano, so we have that here. And my wife and I are both like, they're doing music classes, but they're not practicing, and we don't want to be like, old school parenting, like you got to practice at least 30 minutes a day. But at the same time, it's like, can you at least go practice a little bit? Yeah. Do you really have an interest in this? Don't do this for us. Do it for you.
Corey, if you're still with us in Discord, did you ever pick up the Big Bang? I say that because I was telling Corey about the Big Bang show, which we're addicted to in this house. It runs on continuous loop. And
like Big Bang Theory or
Big Bang Theory. Yeah. Big Bang Theory. Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the characters played the same musical instrument that Corey plays. Corey is a remarkable person. I don't know how many conversations you've had with him, but very, very. I'm not going to overshare because I have a tendency to do that. Okay, so she said it. Cello, yeah, the cello guy. She's absolutely remarkable, and she told me she played the cello, and of course I'm like, oh yeah, I am going to share this part because it pissed me off. Like, she basically picked up programming on a whim. She's like, let me try this and see if I can do this. And, of course, she's great at it, and she plays the cello. So I referenced the Big Bang Theory to her, and she's like, are you kidding me? He plays the cello? And I'm like, yeah. And the actor actually plays the cello. The actor who plays Leonard actually plays the cello, and it was just funny. And then Amy Farrell, Amy, the Blossom from back in the day. I forget the actress's name, but she plays
Mayim Bialik.
There you go. Yeah.
You want to know another thing that you don't want to hear? She's also
sure.
vegan.
Why do you act like I have an issue with vegans? I don't. I have an issue with people. I'm not going to get into that. I am very supportive of people who have dietary restrictions and stuff, and try to find places that we can all enjoy to eat at. So I don't have. You said something to her about it, and I'm like, dude, that's not nice. I don't have a problem with vegans. All right,
no.
Let's see if this plays. I'm gonna play this real quick. Oh,
all right, and then I'm dropping.
Okay, let me. What did I do? I loaded the wrong one. Oh, I loaded the wrong one. Here we go. All right, let's see if this drift is here.
1, 2, 1, 2. Coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. 1, 2, 1, 2. Coming off the top,
No,
y'all know how we
not
do.
there.
Listen, I'ma drop a free.
That is the same video. That's the exact same video. I don't understand what's happening. I'm gonna have to open up a ticket with Restream.
Why do you care which one it is? The source versus the other one. Is there a
Because-
difference?
Yeah, this one,
1, 2, 1, 2.
that takes over the whole stream.
Oh,
It does
we're
away with
muted.
the chat. We're muted. We're off camera, so we can kind of do whatever we're doing. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna play it one more time to see if it's.
1, 2, 1, 2. Coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. 1, 2, 1, 2. Coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen.
That time it didn't drift, right?
No, it did not.
I don't
What-
get it. I don't know what's happening.
Wasn't that the same thing you just did though? The source?
No, that was the video clip because we're muted.
Oh, was it?
Didn't you see it took up the whole screen?
I thought that was source that did that. I'm so confused on which one does which.
So in the interface, the one that says video clips to the right under
Right.
design,
Mhm.
those take over the stream. So whenever you click on one of those, that's the whole stream. Anything to the left, you add the source. Yeah.
Oh, I see. I get it now.
Alright.
What was the thought process of starting Harry Mack's song with the picking up the Scotch glass and then starting it again with him?
Because that's what everybody wants to hear. They don't want to hear anything else. So I play it like the show's starting. Get your drink. Harry Mack's playing, and then the show
start
actually.
it. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Wish I could stick around, but I gotta run out.
I don't. I wish you'd leave already. Peace out.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks,
Bye.
everybody. We're gonna end the stream. Talk to you later.
I was gonna say, I don't have a leave. I don't have a leave button without the.
Oh yeah, we'll end the stream. Talk to you guys later.
All right.
Thanks for hanging out
Bye.
with us. Bye.